Hey everyone, welcome back to the ESL Challenger Katowice South African Close Qualifiers. I am JRT, joined by Alan, and we've got VYBN up against Bravado in the second map of this BO3. Bravado really took control after the first 4 rounds of map number 1 on Vertigo, ended up winning 16-5, a 16-1 run, in fact, Alan, to close out that map, and, well, now they're on their map pick of Nuke.
And they'd love a good start. And it hasn't gone that way. Vilge, top performer in the qualifier, hitting hard here early on. Dropped to P250 and he's gone to town. Slowly collects another. Of course, it had to be these two to seal this pistol round. It already looks over. Wipeout gets that kill. I'm in disbelief that Wipeout has won that duel, but I don't think he's going to alter the course of this round.
It might. Oh,
Sheer does collect a second, but with that trade now, Sheer's got a world of work to do and 3 players to find. What is going on? How does he keep finding kills around these smokes and these odd positions? It's got a little bit awkward. Bomb is down in the open, but it's not actually exposed to Sheer, so that can get planted. The Y plants, we've got a player behind default. And these guys just need to work together, and it should be fairly easy.
Surprised to see Doru challenging as much as he is here. You just have to tuck, and now he goes for the peek at the right time and gets the headshot onto Sheer. 4K for Vilge, 1-0 for Bravado. It looked quite dominant in the early goings, but Sheer continued to get frag after frag and do the damage up against the Bravado squad until they finally shut him down. But they were the ones giving him the contact, right? They didn't have to go and face off towards ramp. They could have just taken the bomb, planted it safe, even rotated all the way around to decon, right? And maybe gone for a plant behind silo. Anyway, look, it is Bravado taking the round as VYBN will be forcing up here. Wipeout with the Mag 7. I guess that's viable on top of Hut. And you got the UMP, a couple of Deagles, and the Scout for Dizzy, who's trying to hit those headshots at the outer yard. But, I mean, there's that wall of smokes that will not allow much visibility, but still, March gets naded to oblivion as Dizzy finds the opening frag.
Must have connected with a scout shot too.
Yeah.
To find that frag. But maybe there's now a window. 1 player down secret. Wipeout takes space in towards lobby. Not sure that was needed when his teammates have all the space elsewhere. dyvo's coming in from behind. Triton seems to have an idea of it. How did he know? Whew. How did he know? But it doesn't matter. Deagle connects. And suddenly this round is feeling in a great deal of jeopardy. They were going ramp, but they've hightailed it back. And they're thinking about Squeaky instead.
Molotov going to get tossed by dyvo. Flashbangs, tons of util going in the other direction. dyvo gets taken down to 55 health, and he also gets flashed, so he has to be careful when he comes around this corner. A bit of a gap in the smoke, but they've already gotten past it, so not an advantage for dyvo anymore. Dizzy, on the other hand, is going to come from heaven as dyvo manages to push out and find Vilge. Slowy and Doru exposed, and now it's only Doru in a 1v3, and he is gone. VYBN managed to pull off the force buy and pick up a first.
Huge round, massive round. In terms of turning around this series, these are the sort of rounds they need to win. Money snaps now for Bravado. Only saving graces for them is that bomb plant, which adds a little bit more cash to the coffers, but it's not going to look good. Okay. VYBN, despite losing the pistol, still have a chance to get this half off to an excellent start. And what are Bravado going to do? There is an option here to basically full eco.
Yeah.
And it looks like they've gone that way, John. Just a little sliver of utilities. Maybe they're praying for a bomb plant.
Deciding not to go for the force buy wars, which certainly is viable on a map like Nuke, but now Dora is going to get naded down at 24. Sheer is waiting here at the ramp and doesn't get any frags, so that opens up a bit of a chance for Bravado to overload him and jump onto that B site. Sheer finds one. They're really close. He still managed to stay alive. Finally is going to get dropped, and the bomb plant's the most important thing. That's all Bravado needs to get out of this round for it to be a success. Problem is, it's been dropped a little too far away from Triton, who still managed to get a frag here. But, I mean, look at the other side. Full HP, 3 players, rifles. Yeah, bomb plant's not going to happen. Doru, 24 HP. He's going to face off, likely to his death. And there it is. Dizzy finds the last one. 2-1 for VYBN.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
that was just the eco, so this is what we're really here for. Guns to be produced. Galil's in the mix as Bravado are clearly favoring having full utility here. What we like to see. All important on a map like Nuke. And here we go. What a Bravado got for us. Of course, we've seen... did they play Nuke in their previous best of 3 against VYBN?
They did. Yes,
They
won
did in
16 to
their
10.
second map.
Yep.
We didn't quite catch that one ourselves. But we should assume they're ready to go. Good flash from Dizzy as Wipeout swings. Trade is there as he can't fall back from red. There's so many smokes down here towards outer. But I think there's actually a gap. I think there's a gap. And Dizzy's looking straight down it. I think these CTs are well aware that nobody's got down secret in that direction. But in the midst of it, Will's just gone down vent. That must have been from Squeaky. So there is still a little bit of lower presence in the end.
And this is where VYBN started to have trouble dealing with Bravado, right? Once they got onto their buy-ups. So we'll see how they fare into this round. Still the advantage technically in this 4v4 in terms of HP with Village down to 48. Ruben gonna get mollied off the top of Hut, so that clears out the spacing for Bravado, and they capitalize finding Ruben. Dyvo still available for them on the defense, and he finds one, perhaps a second. He is tagged down to 23. Needs to be careful. He's waiting for reinforcements to arrive. Dizzy connects on to Doro down to 31 HP, but a nade also took down one of the VYBN members in the meantime. Oh man, Sheer is in such a tough spot. He wants to help out here, but he needs to flash himself out just for a chance. And what a wallbang from Sheer, realizing that someone might be hiding behind the vent, takes down Village, and an opportunity still as the kit is available, but Doru shuts down Dizzy and Sheer. That will be that. Bravado take the round.
Punch right back. And no saves for VYBN. No saves, a couple guns brought through. And this would have been a buy. Dizzy has money. Wipeout does too. But not enough. Just going to even out the cash. Couple players with Deagles. Wipeout has some flashes, as does Ruben. But how do you activate those? How do you make use of those flashes to seek out a frag? Looks like they're going to send players down secret, and perhaps Ruben will flash over the top to try and get them some decent duels. But for the moment, Bravado, I think they're very aware of the economy here, John. Look how passive they are. They're so ready for some aggression on these pistols.
I mean, a lobby crunch is certainly a possibility in these types of rounds, like you alluded to, Alan, but it looks like VYBN still want to hold back and wait for Bravado to come to them. Here comes the aggression, though. Dyvo pushing out. Village is waiting for it. Spots him out and takes him down. Nice and clean for Bravado. And now after finding that, they say, okay, well, it looks like VYBN maybe wanted to put some pressure on lobby. We're going to go for this outer yard control. Ruben waiting with the deagle on that side, but he's not going to have any visibility at all. He tosses a flashbang to try and potentially delay Bravado from pushing forward, but it's not going to do much. A couple of players here. Ruben eats a nade to go down to 33 HP to boot.
It's going to be secret. There are actually two players here in defense. This USP is not going to offer a lot of resistance. Does get a dink on Doru, but all the teammates are going by the wayside. A is called out as clear, and that bomb is heading up the vent. So, despite there's two guys here, it's not really going to matter. Bomb gets planted, bomb site secured. And Bravado, in a similar way to Vertigo, John, it just feels like they're warming up. They're getting into the game now.
I mean, if I recall yesterday, Bravado had a sizable lead here on Nuke in that first half, but VYBN managed to fight back to get 10 rounds, which surprised me a little bit. Maybe they'll find their rhythm a little sooner here, but it just feels like they can't deal with the full buys from Bravado at this point. Obviously here, just the pistols, as Bravado fend off everything that they had to deal with when they got into that site. 3-2 in their favor.
It's the same story with any. Are they going to eco again?
Yeah,
Wow.
surprisingly enough.
I'm feeling deja vu. How's this happened? Did some of the guys overbuy in the last?
Perhaps so.
I'm really confused, John. How have we eco 2 rounds in a row? And it wasn't like the last round was a massive buy.
No.
A little bit of economic mismanagement, perhaps.
Yep.
And it's granted Bravado a lot of opportunities. Here's the Mag 7, though. Swiftly traded. That could have got scary up close and personal. And that feels like the heaviest hitting weapon eliminated from the off.
I think it's just a lot of hesitancy here from the VYBN squad. They're obviously aware of how potent the rifles are here for Bravado, but dyvo gets the headshot on to March here with that deagle, and Ruben could do the same from Vent, but no. Village takes him down. Dizzy has his hands full as the lone defender of the A site now. dyvo's trying to reinforce it. Dizzy's gone, and Slowy's watching Vent. So, taken care of quite easily. VYBN on another eco round only have Sheer left standing, and I mean, it's possible for him to clutch this because all 3 players are low, and it's not going to happen. Village just too good right now. 10 frags already as he's trying to build off a 26 or 27 frag performance on map number 1, certainly at or above that mark. And he leads the charge here on their T side. Yeah, it was a 27-9 for Village on map 1, Allen. 122.2 ADR and a 2.00 rating.
That's pretty monstrous.
Oh, yes.
And he's had a monstrous event so far.
Yeah.
He's someone that's got to be, screaming out internally. Let me on an international stage.
Yeah.
Let me play some of the top players in the world. When you're playing in a region like South Africa, there's some other players in this region that can go toe to toe with him. But overall, you got to always be thinking about what's the next step. What is the next barometer, the next meter stick I want to go up against. And well, if he made it all the way to Katowice, there's some pretty heavy hitting teams there, and he'd surely learn what it's like to really play the big guns.
Yeah, at the very least. And hopefully be competitive with them as a unit, not just individually, right? That's the biggest challenge for the South African teams. Wipe out. Jiggle peek in here. Throws the smoke. Here comes the execute. So good timing on the smoke, and he sees the barrel of Doro's gun. Could spray him down through the smoke. It doesn't finish the job. March is the one who gets the first frag. dyvo manages to get 2. They overlook Heaven, so dyvo's even at the numbers at the very least, and Bravado are also low on HP, Doro in particular, but it doesn't seem to matter. Slowy and the rest of the squad find a way to get frags. No scope from Ruben, but Doro trades it back, and now Sheer will fall by the wayside. A chance there for VYBN, but quickly stifled by Bravado.
He's almost seeing that barrel through the squeaky smoke kind of hurt him, didn't it? Where he's like so focused the whole time on trying to get that frag that gets absolutely enveloped by all the players running out of hut.
Yeah.
In the end. And VYBN just can't get anything rolling. They win the reset round. They win, of course, the following heavy eco from Bravado. But since then, it's been real rough. We're not saving guns. We're not repeating buys. And Bravado is starting to run away with this one. Flashbang is good, though. Flashbang's really good. But Triton is up to the task. 2 for him. Got a teammate nearby. Vilge is just an animal. You can't kill this man. Running so many frags.
He's unbelievable. And honestly, I can't blame VYBN for trying something a little bit different on that pistol buy-up. Go aggressive. Good flashbang. Great one, in fact. But Triton just recovers so very quickly to get a 2K. And then VYBN's chances completely evaporate right at the tail end as they tried to go into lobby and were completely denied. 6-2 for Bravado. 6 in a row for them, in fact. But here comes the buy-up for VYBN. Gonna have the op in Ruben's hands. The 3 A1Ss and the A4. Bilge immediately tosses the nade to break open that door, tosses the Molotov into Mini as well. That'll isolate Dizzy a little bit, but he still manages to throw that nade on forward to try and delay Bilge. But, I mean, through the fire and the flames, feels like nothing can stop him. He got the Molotov out once more. That will section off Wipeout, and he's got the flash thrown as well for the rest of the teammates to come out of HUD. They've got the chance here. No frags found yet. Triton takes down Wipeout. dyvo only gets one before getting traded out himself, and now it'll be the A site taken by Bravado.
VYBN going to give this a look in. Sheer readying that smoke. Goes down. Ruben collects slowly on the peak. Bilge is there for the reply. Sheer comes out of heaven. Swiftly traded. And now it's just Dizzy. And I think they might regret not saving these guns because this 1-on-2 does not look doable. Another afterplan goes the way of Bravado. And the trend is continuing, John, that we're just not keeping these guns through into following rounds. Bravado done a great job to kill them, but equally, yeah, VYBN needs to keep some of these guns alive because they're just not applying enough economic pressure. The money is out of proportion. For a T-side of Nuke to have this much in the bank is pretty astonishing.
Yeah, no, it's very problematic. I would argue that it's not really Bravado getting the frags. It's more VYBN not even trying to save. They're just continuing to go for the fights in disadvantaged situation. They feel like they're reluctant to pull the plug and call for a save so that a rifle can be brought into the next round. Could be frustration that's boiling over on their side. Well, now they're going to try for that lobby crunch, but Bravado's ready for it. Ruben gets a couple of really nice headshots, but unfortunately, the AKs were all ready and waiting there, and insta-trades come through with only Dizzy left standing over towards Secret. So, I mean, I think Ramp is going to get taken. Dizzy's going to have to readjust himself because the bomb's going to get planted if he holds this spot. And he thinks it's going A, Alan. It is not.
Just praying somebody's out towards his control tools or in towards control proper. Bilge is there, but he's just a beast. 16-4 for him. He heard your ADR stats, John, and he's decided it needs to go up. 169 at the moment, and he's not taking his foot off the gas.
I mean, let me just double check. Yeah, ADR was 122 in the last map, and he came into this at 101.5. It has definitely gone up. It's not something you often see as a tournament progresses, but in his case, yeah, there is an upward trajectory as time goes on. Holy. The only team that's been able to shut down Bravado so far in this close qualifier is Nixa, and they barely did it twice, right? 16-14. Bilge going to get that opener here onto Sheer. His stats continue to climb, and he almost takes down the Opera as well around that corner. Double op setup for VYBN. First time they've been able to deploy it across 2 maps.
They had to do something, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
Had to just try and throw some sort of spanner in the mix. This series is slipping a long way to the wayside, of course. Natural isn't playing. This is not the full lineup.
That's right.
We believe. Sounds like one of exams or maybe load shedding is a problem. Probably the exams. But either way, something most certainly outside of the server, outside of the game, outside of entirely their control.
Yeah.
A little bit sad to see.
Nothing to do with performance, because
Yeah,
he's
exactly.
quite a solid fragger. Nope, dyvo's going to get one onto Slowy. Triton trades that immediately. 3v3, a chance for VYBN to take a third round. The CT side is looking pretty rough, but if they can take this one and keep Bravado off of double digits, maybe they make it interesting heading into that second half. Ruben defending, misses an important shot there, and now a smoke is going to guise off visibility. Bravado, the door has been opened. Oh, Ruben.
Okay, is there time? No, surely there isn't. These players just have to stay alive. They just have to stay alive. Bomb is way out in the open. Wow, okay, that round looks in a lot of jeopardy, a lot of problems. But, albeit a bit mad, the double AWP has worked, John. This was...
Yeah, well...
Maybe we should have had this a lot earlier.
Maybe, but at the same time, it kind of feels like that was more a case of Bravado perhaps mismanaging their time and not getting onto that bomb site in an appropriate fashion. Also, I have to give credit though. You're right. I mean, the double op worked. Ruben's peek around that smoke is so very timely, realizing that Bravado has to get that plant down right at that moment. Take the chance, absolutely has to, and wins the round for his squad. As a result, Triton going to get one. Wipeout defending A for two, and maybe a third comes in here for VYBN to give them the edge. Bomb going to be planted, maybe? Yes, indeed. And now no one's left except for Ruben, and his position is known. Slowy drops him, and Bravado make it look like nothing even happened in that previous round as they pick up a ninth.
Every time they have a gap, they just immediately answer back.
Yeah,
it's been a brutal series so far. Vibing one pistol on Vertigo, got them up to 3 rounds. This time they win the reset, and that's 2 of their rounds here. It's been almost a carbon copy where as soon as the guns start coming out, as soon as Bravado get to run their strategies and their standard plays, it's just been a whitewash. It's been a wipeout, and they're getting totaled.
Yeah, they're just out aiming them too, Alan. Simple as that. This one is probably going to be another throwaway round for Biden. 3 5-7s and a deagle on their side. Dyvo managing to push up into T-spawn. A flank could be interesting here.
There's a lot of players lingering. This bomb could be in trouble as it gets planted. But they're choosing not to face initially. That might have been their best window. 2 found quickly. Wipeout gets 1. Make it 2, actually.
Oh.
So he's hitting hard without any cavalry behind him. The flash just gets everyone. not Vilge, though, as he's continuing his absolute onslaught. And that is 10 for Bravado. They're ready for the rematch, I think, John. They're just on an absolute heater right now.
I mean, we talked about it yesterday. That's the one we would likely see. VYBN or Dynamic, whichever team Bravado had to go up against, it felt like they'd have a significant edge, and that holds true here. So far, anyway. 16-5 on map 1, 10-3 already on map number 2. Vilge has 47 frags and only 14 deaths here against VYBN over 2 maps. Unreal stuff. And, well, we'll see if he can keep it going. Double digits found for Bravado. I was saying that's the one thing VYBN maybe, you know, if they held them off double digits, could have been a chance in the second half. Now it feels like that chance is slowly dwindling away. That said, every round counts. 4 is better than 3, and 5 the same, better than 4. Simple stuff here, Alan. Not rocket science, but you just got to get some rounds on the board.
Oof. Ruben.
Okay, Ruben.
Loving life. Look at that. Where has this come from? Almost collects the 4th. There's finally some life left in Vibing. But that life is being constricted. 2 already been shot back in revenge. Vilge is a man on a mission. Doesn't allow Ruben to have any semblance of confidence. Bomb is trapped, though, behind this blue crate. As Triton gets another. The young stars starting to warm up. This is falling apart, John, in the round where Ruben looked like he'd won it for them. Starts to fall apart. Sheer, though, recovers it in the end. And honestly, just for Ruben's sake, I'm happy they converted that because that would have been devastating with how much work he put in.
Oh my goodness, absolutely. Not just the fact that Ruben gets 3, but guys, he opened up the fragging with 3. It was a 5v2 and had to come down to the last player clutching that one out. That's just the difference we're seeing in terms of that fragging prowess between the two teams so far. It's just unreal how much in favor of Bravado it has been. VYBN barely hanging on to take that one. It is a 4th, though. No matter which way you slice it, that's good news for VYBN. Ruben's going to try pushing out this time, and it yields another opening frag. He almost gets the second as well, and VYBN have Wipeout supporting with the XM. Look at the space they've taken into lobby now. They have to be careful because B is a little exposed as a result, and maybe even out of yard, but Dizzy's trying to close that gap. He is spotted out, dropping down here in towards lockers. And he will get domed. March, what a shot. dyvo manages to get the trade. Mini, still a problem here. And dyvo finds a second. 3v1 all up to Doru here. And he manages to get dyvo down to 40. Well, this is going to be a very tall ask from him.
There's only one player lower right now. But he's instead going to give lobby a look. And looks like Wipeout is in the area. He's posted on the main lobby entrance from the T-spawn side for now. As he peeks out, no idea. First collected. Looking a lot rosier from here. 30 seconds. A full belt of utility for Doru 2. Smoke goes on towards control. All a ruse. It's all a ruse. He's starting to move. dyvo caught in 2 minds. Not sure if he should be up or down the vent. Commits up. And that is the right decision. Here comes Doru up through heaven. Players in towards Squeaky. The HP is ever so low. A nade would finish this as dyvo plays behind the Molotov. Will Doru expect this? Molly conceals dyvo. There's the frag. We do recover to 5 rounds. So a sliver of a chance. A slight opportunity. But still a lot of work to do as this squad heads into the second half.
Never thought that I could feel this
All right, we're back and right into the action here. Bravado with a 10-5 lead, and that was on their T side in a map that does tend to lean towards the CT side, meaning that Bravado has the advantage until we hit the finish line. Doru is going to get the opener onto Wipeout. Triton gets dizzy. A very clean start for them on this pistol.
Looking good. Looking real good now. Oh my lord. Oh my lord. It's just disgusting. It's just absolutely disgusting. Wow. That is not what VYBN needed at the start of this half. And unlike in the first, I don't think they're even a buy here. So the chance of a reset doesn't feel likely.
No, this is a tough situation that just got even tougher for VYBN to come back from. They're going for the full eco without that bomb plant. Not a single piece of utility, armor, or hardware purchased into this round for VYBN. They just need to try and get that bomb planted, and it's going to be very, very tough against this Bravado squad. Bilge continues to pop off. He's got 26 and 27 with that final frag in the round. He matches his frag total from the first map as well.
Alrighty. Here we go then. Pretty heavy bonus round. Couple MP9s in the mix. There's no AWP out on Slowy. So a tad limited as of what these CTs can go for. And if you're VYBN, you absolutely have to hit the ground running. There is no time here to spool up. There's not a lot of wiggle room. You need to dent this CT economy whilst the loss bonus is low.
Yep.
Force some resets, ecos. That's how you get back into this game. And it's all got to start here.
Without a doubt. It is a bonus round for Bravado, so I think they'll still have a buy up in the next round should they lose here. But, I mean, it's a pretty decent bonus. 3 A1Ss, 2 MP9s, and almost a full kit of util on all 4 of the 5 players. Slowy, hearing from Secret, and doesn't get the opener. Nice shot from Dizzy. He saved Wipeout's bacon. Bilge has to retreat now in towards Mini. I think he saw someone through the crack here in the door. Oh, it doesn't matter! What a shot from Ruben, too, and Sheer follows up. VYBN coming alive here in round number 18.
March gets one, but there's infinite work to do. Infinite work to do. Nuke could be turning this around. Might even be well advised just to save this gun moving forwards, as Trine doesn't really have the money. Okay.
Yeah.
It is a good start to the half of VYBN. This buy is not going to be good. It's going to be really on the borderline. And we'll see what Bravado choose to swing this. They could actually pretty much full eco. And given Vilge and the Deagle investment, I think they're going to lean that way. And I kind of like this, John. They got such a... I think, if you're playing at the start of the game and, whatever, we're at 2-1 rounds or whatever at this point, maybe you do full invest, but knowing you've got such a big buffer, I don't think the risk was worth it.
I agree. Yeah, just save the money. March will be able to buy up an op for his teammate, Slowy, in the next round, and they'll be fine. Not to mention, they've been so very solid and so confident in their aiming that they could even pull this round off. Vilge, a gap in the smoke here. Very small one, so he'll be able to see the toes as they walk through. And he fires away and gets the opener. Trade comes through immediately, as you would expect. 4v4, but Triton slips through the smoke, gets one. Almost damage onto another as well. In fact, Wipeout's only at 7 HP. Sheer and himself managed to get things under control, but still, Wipeout is a bullet away from death. Where Slowy's coming from as well, Alan. Slowy finding Wipeout. Can he get back to cover and stay alive is another question. He just wants to take the fights, and why not? They can't seem to hit him.
Oh my lord. If Sheer goes down, this round is in big jeopardy. A lot of time left. And Dizzy's going for the duel. Look at this.
They've got
Luckily
the AK.
takes himself off the angle because he was in a AK sandwich there for a couple seconds. Flashbang takes him off the angle for just a second.
Oh, no.
And it's a catastrophe. Oh, no. Oh. I'm heartbroken for them. because this was starting to become a close map, and it doesn't get any worse than that.
Oh, Alan, that is heartbreaking. That is heartbreaking for VYBN. Unbelievable. Bravado, pull it off. Just some good spacing and great work with what they had at their disposal. A 5-7 doing damage at the beginning. It's a little gap in the smoke that exposes VYBN. And I mean, it felt like perhaps they'd be able to get things back under control, but Bravado continued to put the pressure on. And then once the last player gets that bomb planted, lead was dizzy. There were 2 AKs on the other side, and you just cannot deal with them. 13-6 for Bravado, and honestly, that one should have been a 7th for VYBN. When you're down by this type of scoreline, you have to be converting the anti-ecos.
Smokes are down. One on towards main. Flash is there. Dyvo over the top. Diving his way in. March collects the first. And ramp is actually being seeded. Shear's starting to take a little bit of a space towards this ramp position. See if he can conjure up anything. As lower heaven in towards hell is now occupied 2. So Bravado, despite having a man advantage, they've seeded a lot of the map here. You can see they're absolutely penned in on this A-bomb site. They'd be very well advised to take lobby, but they haven't. They have not. And now they're in a bit of trouble. Big kill from Triton. As this heaven prong is held back for a moment. But I'm still really nervous for them, John. This is such an awkward spot for the CT side. The lower half of the map is completely exposed. But if they keep feeding into heaven like this, one at a time, piecemeal, maybe all the space isn't going to matter so much.
Honestly surprised they went into heaven like that with such an advantage. And oh, Slowy gets a little over eager. Sheer going to take him down, but Triton is still standing. He'll get one, not the second. And Dora with a perfect trade. Wow, I mean, VYBN felt like they had the edge, Alan. You're absolutely right, but they just didn't use the space they gained in a very wise manner. And Bravado managed to sneak out of a round where they made a lot of mistakes.
Yeah. I think the first player that goes in heaven, fair enough. You might have a monster timing. You know, you might be right in behind. You might get 2 or 3 players. He does get one. He gets traded, but that's good. It's all fine. You've scared the living daylights out of the CC side when you showed a player in heaven. That's when let's slow this round down. Let's have a plan. Let's work together. And that's kind of what never really transpired. Was it didn't feel like there was a cohesive option. If we want to split A, go for it. If we want to go lower and whatever, keep playing in towards ramp or something, go for it. But we didn't really do either. And ultimately, that was the down for. Is there a gap in this smoke?
There continues to be gaps in the smoke.
Yeah, that's not ideal.
Well, in CS2, it won't be a problem. The way the smokes bloom. But right now, still an issue. Vilge is going to take down Sheer. VYBN hoping for the best with Tech 9. I think they're just going to try and overload to the B site. And it's not working at all.
No. Certainly not. And maybe the gaps in the smoke won't be a problem, but as soon as the HEs start landing, there'll be very big gaps.
Yeah.
And when everyone starts spamming them, we'll see.
Oh yeah, dude, I'm still really excited about the way CS2 is going to shake things up, regardless.
This is what I think is going to happen.
Okay.
I think these smoke changes are going to be awful for the first few months, and they'll slowly get tinkered back and back and back. Maybe they'll be, to aggressively change initially and have to get more powerful. But if they can find the middle ground where smokes can be interacted with, but not completely nullified, then suddenly we've got a whole new avenue of Counter-Strike opened up.
Yeah. Slow, he's going to try and open up this round with the AWP, and he does exactly that. The second one, a no-scope onto dyvo, 5v3. Sheer does manage to get a response, and Wipo gets another one. Okay, not over yet, but I think Slowy just wants to end this map out of sheer will and his own off. 3 found, make it a 4th, looking for the ace as Sheer is the last one standing. Oh, goodness. I was going to say, Slowy's been a little quieter here. Village taking the lead, but Slowy Not going to go out with a whimper here. He's going out with a massive bang.
If someone can tell me if it's even possible to spam through the blue crate, I'd love to know. Because I don't think it is. If he'd got the kill doing that, I would have cried on stream. It would have been unbelievable.
Yeah.
This looks like the end. Indeed it is. There goes Triton, 16-6 to follow up a 16-5. That is a very dominant showing from Bravado. Kind of what we saw yesterday, I guess, in this matchup. Reasonably similar scorelines. And yeah, I think the overall kind of picture of this qualifier is we undoubtedly do have the best two teams.